Access granted.
Lenovo has always been a staple when it comes to laptops that offer reliable performance, solid build quality, amazing keyboards, and fantastic battery life. It's no secret why their fan base is loyal and keeps them coming back for more. I first dove in with one of their higher end models a few years back that I absolutely fell in love with. It had a 4K touchscreen and folded into a tablet with a built-in garaged pen for sketching and signing documents. At the time, this thing was super powerful. 16 gigs of RAM, it had a 1TB hard drive, it had built-in Dolby Audio, 4K touchscreen. Everything I needed it to do, it absolutely shredded, all with a weight of just over 3 pounds. But times have changed. The new M1 MacBook models are absolutely shredding everything out here. It's not even fair. I, however, have been using Lenovo's new ThinkPad Nano for the past 2 months daily, and this has turned out to be everything I'd ever asked for from a laptop. It's super powerful, has an amazing screen, battery life is awesome, and weighs over a pound lighter than Apple's lightest M1 MacBook Air. Now, I'm not going to say that this is your laptop for video editing because it's not. It did, however, handle 4K 10-bit Sony a7S III footage and Adobe Premiere Pro without stuttering once, which I couldn't believe. When it came to render times, though, it took about an hour to render a 4K 10-minute video with some color correction, transitions, and callouts. Whereas with my M1 MacBook Pro, it'd take about 20 minutes. But there's something about having so much power and functionality in something that weighs 1.9 pounds. That's way lighter than both my previous ThinkPad and my M1 MacBook. It's even lighter than an iPad with a keyboard. Now pair that with an amazing keyboard, awesome build, battery life, and you've got something special. Now when you get into design, you can see that Lenovo didn't really have to cut any corners in terms of build quality. It looks super similar to my ThinkPad Carbon with a much smaller footprint. The rest of the competition comes in much heavier without sporting the military spec standards the Nano offers for durability. It comes in a matte black or weave finish. For me, you guys know it's matte black everything. Thankfully, this one doesn't pick up as many fingerprints as my previous ThinkPad. It looks super clean, and you have a good amount of space in between keys to move freely without having to really worry about typos. I mean, it's so easy to use and it honestly feels like you're carrying around a folder when you're out and about. Two small gripes for me with the Nano are the location of the power button and only having 2 USB Type-C ports. I feel like the power button would have felt so much better if it sat somewhere along the top of the keyboard. The 2 USB Type-C ports may be an issue for some people out there, but then again, the M1 MacBooks have the same amount of ports, and when you think about it, you really only need more than 2 if you're video editing or doing a heavier type of workflow, something where you've got multiple things going on along with editing. But let's take a step back for a second and talk to the general population who aren't creators, someone who needs a Windows-based laptop that gets the job done for a decent price that's overall a solid buy, something that sports amazing features and security. When you get into security, I love what the Nano offers. You have both your fingerprint sensor or Windows Hello that works super fast at recognizing your face when you're logging in. That same feature also sets your Nano's locking mechanism into effect when you walk away, protecting sensitive data or information from falling into the wrong hands. As soon as you walk away and it no longer notices your presence, it locks your screen for you. The Nano has a presence detection feature that wakes the laptop up when you sit down in front of it. It's an ultra wideband sensor with a 60-degree field of view that's worked surprisingly well for me 99% of the time. You also have a physical shutter for your webcam if you're worried about privacy in certain situations. It's nice to see things like this weren't sacrificed to make the Nano lighter. For its display, you have a 16:10 aspect ratio coming in at 13 inches. However, thanks to that ratio, you'll notice it's taller than the other models, letting you see more stuff on your screen. The 13-inch display is 2160 by 1350 for its resolution and has anti-glare with Dolby Vision capping out at 450 nits for its brightness. You can also upgrade to a smudge-proof touchscreen if you feel it's something you need. Now, Lenovo also decked out the ThinkPad Nano with a Dolby Atmos speaker system and 4 separate 360-degree microphones. So if you're in a setting somewhere where you only want to use one laptop but have multiple people in the room that need to be heard, everyone could be heard equally without any issues whatsoever. Very clever. Now the music sounds absolutely fantastic, but it does lack a little bit of bass. This isn't a ThinkPad Nano issue, by the way. This is pretty much across the board with Lenovo laptops. All of them lack that bass. But overall, the sound quality sounds really good. Coming back to the keyboard, typically when you have something this thin and light, you always have that bending in the center when you're typing since you really don't have much to work with. However, with the Nano, this doesn't seem to be the case. It feels very durable in the center and doesn't feel like the keyboard's going to cave in on itself. The trackpad is probably one of the smoothest I've ever used, so that's definitely another plus for me. The Nano is a true workhorse. It hasn't disappointed me even in the slightest bit over the past 2 months of using it daily. You can pick up an i5 or an i7. This particular model has 16 gigabytes of RAM and it works absolutely fantastic. If you want to do some light gaming, some photo editing, have multiple tabs running in the background, you won't experience any issues whatsoever. Even if you want to do some light video editing like we discussed earlier that isn't complex and has a 4K timeline with multiple transitions and stuff like that, this thing will get the job done for you no matter where you're at. For battery life, I was consistently getting over 10 hours, more than a full work day of use with no issues at all. The battery life is advertised at around 13 hours. However, if you do plan on doing some gaming and video editing, you'll notice obviously the battery will drain a lot faster than usual. Now in my testing, I was always checking out the battery indicator when I was doing this review to see how much juice I had left. Every time I would check it, it would say 15 to 18 hours. So a lot more than the 13 hours that Lenovo is actually advertising. You do also get Lenovo's quick charge feature with this model, giving you an 80% charge in just under an hour when the battery is dead. So that's always a nice touch for those of you out on the road with this thing. You also get Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, and optional 5G LTE through a SIM slot if you'd like to go that route. Now yes, I did initially want the 5G SIM version, but didn't have the patience to wait for it, so I went without it and just use my hotspot on my phone right now, which gives me more speed than I'll ever need for what I'm using this for. Now you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but this is the honest truth. Since I've had this, I haven't used my M1 MacBook Pro for work more than 5 times. There's something about its form factor that makes me wanna work. I'm doing my video editing on my desktop, so there's no reason for me to depend on my M1 Mac models. Now I know I'm not going crazy because if you've noticed, Lou has been using this laptop over on Unbox Therapy and Lou Later pretty much daily for the past couple of months. I've noticed he's always got the ThinkPad Nano in front of him, so he must absolutely love this laptop and I can't really disagree with him. He reviewed it a couple of months ago before I had the chance to actually pick this laptop up because I ended up waiting for mine. I was on back order for a little bit and he absolutely loves it and I can't disagree with him. It's funny, we both keep going back and forth between our Macs and these ThinkPad models from Lenovo, as if we both have the same fetish for them. And for good reason. It's hard to find something this powerful with a keyboard and trackpad that feels this good at this silly weight. It's truly inspiring to see what Lenovo's accomplished over the past few years, and I can honestly tell you it's definitely worth it. I know a majority of you guys that love tech and need this for work will appreciate it. It's a solid buy, it definitely has my stamp of approval, and I absolutely love it. Now this is on deal right now on Lenovo's website for $1,150 for the 16GB i5 variant with a 512GB hard drive, which is more than you'll ever need. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. Make sure you guys grab it while it's hot because the prices on Lenovo's website tend to fluctuate quite significantly. Aside from that, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you go ahead and drop them down below in the comment section for me. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash that like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next episode. Peace.